So here we go. Uh, Welcome to the first video of Career Break Guy. I am the Career Break Guy, taking a break from corporate life. Um, yeah, because it's the first video, quick little, I guess, explanation. So I've been working in the corporate world for too many years, and I realized I got stuck in a bit of a rat race. But thankfully I noticed it before it was too late, and I managed to get out. So I'm just taking a break. I'll go back to the office at some point, but until then, thought I'd do something fun with my time. And part of that, I really enjoy role-playing games and video games, so I thought I'd do some of these online whilst I'm here. So the very first one, I'm super excited, is Dragonbane by Free League. I want to just say thank you very much to the people at Free League for sending me a copy of this game and this VTT which I'm using. It's a great game, it's got so many of the best parts from so many different games. I'm really excited to play it. I haven't played it before. Well, I mean, I dabbled really quickly, so it's a bit of a learn with me at the same time. So let's see how we get on. So here is the Misty Veil, and I've made up a character. Calaran, random name generated elf. Bit tanky, plate armor, great helm, broadsword shield. He is off looking for adventure, part of a noble house. Not first in line to the throne, so needs to make a name for himself, I think is the idea I had for him. And I have the coffee as well. So he has started out this adventure in the town of Outskirt, which is where so many great adventures start. But he heard that to the east, I take it back, to the west, there is a place where adventurers can go and test their mettle. So he's going to head over there, and thankfully the journey was uneventful. Now when he arrives there, he finds a nameless chapel standing at the edge of the Deepfall Breach. Mortared stones of the structure have stood fast against time, wind, and calamity, but its stained glass windows lie scattered in shards, and the heavy oaken door hangs loose and creaking on ancient hinges. He is caught amid a torrential rain, so he slips inside, eager to escape both the downpour and the baleful red glow emanating from the depths of the breach. Inside the chapel casts the shadow of itself, rotting pews, piles of refuse, tattered tapestries depicting battles long forgotten. Candles lend their meagre glow in flickering clusters while fragrant smoke curls from incense burners. Maze-like etchings litter a large desk occupying the far wall. Maddening, aren't they? The gruff, weathered voice precedes a hunched form dislodging itself from the shadows. Silver streaks the coal-black fur of the wolfkin draped in ratty robes. He leans on a wicked-looking two-handed mace topped with clenched steel fists. Numerous scars mark the wolfkin's lupine visage, and a stone sphere replacing his left eye. The breach, he continues, nodding towards the desk littered with labyrinthine maps. Impossible to map with any accuracy. He introduces himself as Stonegaze, although he also supplies his true name of Engulfer. The name is not unknown to you, or to Calaran. But the Engulfer of whom he's heard tells of a fearsome warrior, famed hunter of demons, not some old hermit priest. Have you come to delve the breach? He asks. There's good to be done, justice to be dealt, and riches to be uncovered, if you've the mettle for it. Also, I mean, absolutely, Calaran was here, so he can test his mettle, prove himself, get a name for himself, because he's unlikely to be king unless there's enough people die, which also hopefully not, because they're his siblings. So with this, I'm going to play it. I mean, it's good practice to be a DM as well, so I'll do that. But I won't necessarily get super into all the descriptions of everything and the roleplay side. I might just be a bit transactional at times. So no, yes, Engulfer, Calaran tells Engulfer, yes, absolutely, I'm looking for this adventure, and so Engulfer tells him about the leader of a sect of demon cultists who hold the Worldbreaker Shard, the tip of the abyssal spear that split the land and created the breach. This power cannot stay in their grasp. Foul magics cloud the location from his sight, and so he needs Calaran to locate the shard through other means. Seek below a band of cultists transporting a prisoner, an orc named Gorm. Gorm knows the location of the cultist outpost and may serve as a valuable ally in the days to come. So my understanding of this is that there's a threat, a trio of goblin scouts which plunder the breach, looting ancient crypts, robbing any who wander their path. When the threat triggers, they spring an ambush. So my understanding of this is you just kind of go through the different things, plunging path, charred tomb, a couple other ones which Engulfer's eye, which he sees into the labyrinth, can't quite see into, so we'll roll up some random encounters, and then eventually the fiendish altar. This threat is a d6, I believe, and you just keep rolling it up until such time as it culminates in a 6. And I think it's every time you take like a short rest, or maybe every time you go into a room, and then when that happens, then that encounter happens. Mission threats, here you go. So roll a d6. Every time you do have a counter d6 starting at 1, delay or create an opening. Roll the dice to advance the threat. Okay. And if you roll a demon, which is a 20 in this game because you're trying to roll under your stats, then you advance the threat by 2. I guess, is there some way that I can get a pen? Do a text, maybe? New text. We'll go 1. So we'll use this to keep track of the threat. Be cool if that was another color, but easy. Red. No. Text. That's the one. Red. Nope. Anyway, so we know there is this counter sitting here, currently at 1 because it's not much of a threat. But first of all, Engulfer sends Caloran and says, "Alright, you got to go down this path." And there's a sloping corridor which carries him into the oppressive depths of the breach. And he remembers the voice of Engulfer rings in his ears of, "Tread softly, you waken creatures of fang and wing nestling within the cracks and hollows of the ancient passage." So honestly, what's he going to find? There is cool tables here. Roll a table, and I think we're going to do one for the environment. Where is that? Ooh, Robert King. That's the new adventure that's in the new copy of the book that comes out, the standalone. But, oh, here we go. Location details. Let's roll an environment. Just get a bit more color for this sloping corridor. Bubbling pool. Okay. So, this long corridor, which at one point it kind of curves out to one side, expands out a bit, and inside is a bubbling pool. And this perhaps is where the creature of fang and wing nestling in cracks and hollows is. Now, I could be a bit more careful about this and keep an eye out, but Engulfer's... No, it's not Engulfer. Caloran's not interested in being subtle here. He is out to make a name for himself, and honestly, he's got this plate armor, he's got his great helm, he's got his broadsword and shield. He thinks he can take it. So what he's going to do is I'm not going to roll for stealth. He's not going to try and sneak down this corridor, but he is going to try and be aware, just to keep an eye out, because Engulfer has told him already that there is something down here, so he's going to keep an eye out. No need to be surprised by an ambush or anything. So fingers crossed. First roll of the game. Double fail. Any way I can make this bigger? Here we go. I'm not going to push the roll, which is a cool mechanic in this game where you can roll again, but then you get a condition. Caloran does have an ability because of his solo playness. So this one? Yeah. So I can spend 3 willpower points and push a roll, which means I get to roll it again without suffering the condition. And that's pretty cool, but I've only got 12 willpower, so I might save that for a bit later. So anyway, he's just going to wander down. He is keeping an eye out, but unfortunately with his great helm he has potentially missed something. And I think it's fair to say that Beast of Wing and Fang So that's probably going to be some kind of vampire bat type thing. Adventures. Also, if you get a chance, check out the new bestiary for Dragonbane. That book is amazing. Honestly, it's got like a description of all the different creatures, and you could straight up run a whole adventure based on that. Okay, so we have a vampire bat. Oh, ferocity 2. So what that means is it's going to get 2 attacks per turn, whereas poor old Caloran only gets 1, I believe. Oh no, he gets 2 initiative cards and 2 turns. Okay, so this might be a semi-fair fight. Let's just move this. We'll put this guy next to Caloran. And if we go into combat... Oh wait. I'm learning how to use Foundry as well. I think it's a cool system, but it does just take a bit of learning. Oh wait, no. Let's update another, draw another card. That didn't work out how I thought it would. Alright, let's try that again. Then this bat gets duplicate. There we go. That's the one. Duplicate combatants. So now both of them have 2 turns, because it's got Ferocity 2, which means 2 turns, and then he's got Army of 1, which means he gets 2 attacks. So, let's begin combat. Ilnor goes first, which is a good start. Now with this, where it differs from something like Dungeons and Dragons, is instead of having reactions and your actions and bonus actions, this is just you have an action. So if you want to attack, that's great, but then that means you can't dodge. And in this case, I might need to dodge. But Irwinor, not Irwinor, no. There's an old name that I had for him. Anyway. Caloran is a bit gung-ho, so he is going to swing his broadsword and try and strike this vampire bat to start with. So he's got to roll a 16 or under to see if he can hit. Yep, and he's just going to slash at it. Roll. Good luck, my friend. Cool, so that's a hit. He rolled under his score of 16. And the bat is going to... I think a bat would try and dodge. Or evade, I should say. Because it's just flooding around. It's almost just a thing that it would naturally be doing. 9, so it evades. But I am going to say that this turn has been taken. So he swings his broadsword, but the bats kind of scatter and the sword just cuts through air. In return, though, the bat is going to... Oh, and here's another cool thing, is when creatures attack in this game, they automatically do an attack and automatically hit, and you just kind of have to deal with it, unless you manage to evade or something like that. So what is the attack that it does? Random bat attack. A collective attack. The bats launch a joint assault on the player, character with the highest con. I mean, he's the only player, so that's easy. It inflicts 2d6 slashing damage, and it heals that same amount of HP. The victim suffers a fear attack and must roll will to resist fear. I don't think he wants that, so he is going to try and... He's going to try and evade this. Oh, he's got a Bane because of his plate armor. Just I don't want to have to deal with the fear. Okay, let's give it a whirl. That's right, because with a Bane you roll 2 dice and take the higher one. What's his... Evade of 13? I reckon I could do this. Okay, so he's going to push the roll, and I'm going to spend 3 willpower points so that he doesn't actually suffer this condition. Let me just mark it off. 7, haha! So the... 16, no, that fails still. Dang it. Okay, so the bats do hit. And it does 2d6 slashing damage. 6, 7, so He's got 6 points of plate plus 1 of his helm, so thankfully that blocks the damage. But he does need to test his will against a fear attack, so let's try willpower. Come on, 12 or less. 6, excellent. So, I mean, the first creature he's met, I guess with all these bats swinging and hitting onto his armor, he's feeling a little more confident. It's nice it's not actually punching through. No reason to lose your cool yet, my friend. He had tried to evade, so that was his turn, and then the bats had evaded on their first turn, so next round. Bats go first. Coming in with the attack. Swirling horror, the bats swarm around Caloran at a frantic pace. Everyone within 10 meters, which is him, suffers another fear attack and must roll will to resist. So okay, well here's his will roll. Fingers crossed. 12. Meets beats. So the bats swirl, but again he just kind of hunkers down behind his shield, and these things are pinging off in every direction. But then, as they're swirling around, he comes out swinging with his broadsword in a large slash. It connects, and the bats are going to try and evade. As they're swirling around, do they manage to get out of the way? No! This time, the broadsword manages to catch something, doing 6 points of damage. That's Caloran, let's not damage him. 3, 5, 6. The bat's turn, they tried to evade, so their turn gets skipped. Back to Caloran, who this time doesn't need to worry about them dodging because they used that move already. But he gets to swing his broadsword, fingers crossed, it hits. Awesome, so that's automatically roll for the damage. Another 9. Get in, my friend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Erwin first. Okay, he's seeing that he's caught a lot of these bats so far, and it's not looking good for them. So he's going to go in for the kill. He's got 2 actions before the bats, so he's got to try and end this now. It's a shame that wasn't a 1 because that would have done additional damage. Oh, here's a dodge or parry. I don't need to go around to the other screen. Okay, so it's dodged. So Erwin is going to try again. Keep slashing. See if he can end this fight. Yes! And the bats... I don't know. Odds they are attacking, evens they're defending. Okay, odds they're attacking, so they're not going to try and evade this. So let's roll damage. And that is enough. Beep, 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 beep. So after the swirling, he comes out from behind his shield, swings his broadsword round and round his head, slashing wildly, and manages to fell these creatures. So we're going to end the combat. Good work, buddy, and I will change your name in the combat tracker at some point. Oh, too many people. Wanted to keep Caloran. Come back to me. Cool. So it still says he's got 3 willpower that is used. Well, that was a good start. So he carries on down the sloping corridor, wiping the blood of the bats from his sword. And all of a sudden he finds himself in a charred tomb, where fire, the voice of Ingolfer rings in his mind, telling about how fire long ago ravaged this once grand mausoleum. It holds 5 remaining sarcophagi amid piles of ash. Find ye a path through a door hidden within one of these coffins, but disturb not the scorched dead nor the hidden trap. You know what? I want to roll that environment table just to see if we can get a bit more information around this place. All I need to do is find out where that thing actually sits. River Mound, Temple of the Purple Flame. Oh, these are some of the actual adventures. Environment. Stagnant pool. Okay, so in the middle of this mausoleum, there's sarcophagi and piles of ash. And in the middle, maybe once it was a large bowl with water, perhaps for anointing or some other holy means, or even just a decorative piece. But anyway, that's long since fallen into disrepair, and what remains is just kind of a green, scungy water. Now, Ingolfer Caloran is going to have a search around, see if he can find anything. And I think for that, I'm going to say that he is going to assume that the pool is probably where the basin, if you will, is probably where the hidden door is. So I think what we'll do is we'll just roll a dice. And we'll just say on a, what do you reckon? Maybe it's too easy. Just roll a d6, see what happens. On a 6, it's the right place. Nope. So he looks at the pool and he double checks. Unfortunately, it does not appear to be the place. Like, I guess that makes sense. That's too clear and simple an idea. Of course, it's not going to be the first place that someone would think to look. So it holds 5 sarcophagi. Okay, so it must be in one of these other ones. Oh, within one of these. Of course, so it was never going to be in that basin. You should really have paid attention when Ingolfer was talking to him. Okay, so what he's going to do is he is going to... Maybe let's do a spot hidden to see if he notices something, because all of the different sarcophagi, I mean, one looks the same to him as any other one, so let's just see if we can do this. No. And he's not going to push it either. On the other hand, let's see if that was one of the ones that had disturbing the scorched dead nor the hidden trap. Okay, so if there's hidden trap, let's say on a we'll do a 1d10. 9 or 10, that was the one that had a trap in it. No trap, that's good. But it does mean that he's got to check one of the other ones. So we're down to d4, so let's see. On a 4, it's the correct one. Ah, he does. He manages to check it. And opening up the sarcophagus, and the corpse inside just kind of falls out of the way. But as it falls, he notices just a little puff of the movement of some of the cobwebs. Moves in a slightly different way. And prying around the edge there, he notices a crack, which he can pull away and find a corridor going further into the sarcophagus. Now, I just want to see, though, whether he does actually disturb the dead or not. So let's just say... oh, maybe it was that the undead were inside of this sarcophagus as well, so maybe the trap is actually still inside. Let's give it a dice. On a... How about a 9 or a 10 again? 9 or a 10, that was actually a trap still, and he's going to meet something. No, excellent. So he's going to scrabble down into this new corridor, perhaps starting to hear the scritchings and scrabblings behind him of something. So now we need to find out where this tunnel goes. And if we go down to the solo adventures, we can find the... Actually, maybe I looked at it this way. Yep, so the area table. I'll still roll it on this. Just because I like this little setup. Area table area. That's why I didn't see it, because it was right at the top. So it's a twisting passage. Okay. So this twisting passage, which is... I love me the environment one. Environment. So twisting passage, the walls are damp and fungus grows. You know, mushrooms come up to this waist around. Some of them bioluminescent. And the odor is just seeping into his helmet. What he's going to have to do is he's going to try and have to find a way. So he is going to... What's he going to do? He's going to use his bushcraft, I guess? No, I guess he's going to follow this twisting passage. I wonder if there's actually a trap in here. Surely there's a table for that explosion. Ooh, location details. Well, this is fun. Actually, let's roll some of these. So, as he's going through... Oh, cool. So he's following this twisting passage and he's walking past these giant mushrooms. And up ahead there is a statue of an elf. Garbed similarly in full armor. It's very peculiar to find something like this down in a tunnel. He was not expecting this at all. And he goes to investigate. And when all of a sudden from inside of the helmet, you know, full helm closing over it, a voice emanates. And it says, "What are you doing here? Or what brings you to these tunnels?" And Caloran's a bit taken back. Actually, he's not even going to talk to it. He's... Way to not yes-and myself. He's not going to talk. He's going to keep looking around and try and see if he can find something else. But I just wonder... yeah, so he keeps fossicking about, but doesn't quite find a way through. And again, the voice rings out. What brings you to these halls? And so this time he kind of peers back around. He goes, I am on a quest. I am here to find the World Breaker Shard. And you will not stand in my way, statue. So the statue is going to do something cool, which I don't even know yet. Scavenging. Oh, you can scavenge here? Neat. Actually, you know what? The statue has said these things, but he's still scavenging, so let's actually roll a scavenge here. I will increase the this thing. Draw text? No? 2. Next. Text label 2. I'm going to say that goes up, and we'll roll a 1d6. So whilst he's scavenging, let's see if those... where was it? The mission threat shows up. 1d6. Since the delay, when the threat advances 6, keep the pressure on. Oh no, we're just going to say it goes up. There you go. Easy enough. So where was that other cool table that we had? The exploration table. The scavenging. So he's going to search around. Let's roll a spot hidden. He's not going to find anything. I wonder. What do we got here? Hidden treasure. Okay, so what I'm going to say is that he doesn't find the treasure card. I was just going to see if there was a concealed foe or trap that would set off when he was searching around. But just to keep it moving, I think what he'll do is he's just going to push on past this statue. He's going to remember that though. He'll come back to that at a later time, but in the meantime he's going to carry on down this wandering passage, and I'm just going to roll this up to 3 to say that's taken his time doing it. we're actually not too far off actually having a real problem. But he's come to another area, which let's roll up and see what it actually is. Treasure, no, I wish it was treasure. Area table. So, oh, cool, so these tunnels twisting through, pushing through these mushrooms, you know, they're all kind of starting to stick to the edges of his armor. But he can hear his steps start to echo louder, and lo and behold, he finds himself in an ancient tomb, which was back to my environment. No, we've had a stagnant pool before. Not everywhere has a stagnant pool, unless that's kind of the decor of this place. Rotting stench. Oh, excellent. So he couldn't smell it past some mushrooms before. They gave off that kind of earthy smell, but now he can smell something rotting, and walking towards this. I imagine the tunnel's opened up and there's kind of like a little mausoleum type thing inside of here, which is very on point for the this dungeon, considering there's also the mummies that he found earlier, or didn't find, thankfully. But I think that there will be something here this time. What is this stench? The stench is some kind of dead creature, surely. Oh, or is it something even cooler? Ghost Dragon Demon. Could it be a troll? I think that troll is just Enderman if it was. So maybe what he's finding is the stench of a... Oh, is there a mummy or something like that? Hysteria, elementals, no. Rules, benches. Oh, giant spider, that sounds cool. Okay, so... Wow, that's chonky. Yeah, so what it is there's a giant spider... Oh, yes. Okay. The smell, it turns out, is corpses. He looks up, into this mausoleum, and inside is just webs, and things hanging from the ceiling in little bundles. Now he knows that this is a problem, but I'm going to roll awareness to see whether he's going to, in time, notice that the spider is there. He knows there's a spider, but he might not notice in time. Okay, so it's going to get the jump on him. And again, we're going to go into combat. As a spider drops from outside the mausoleum, was kind of hiding behind the roof, and it skittered out. This is its little larder, if you will. But now these two are going to enter combat, and I suspect it's probably going to end badly for poor little Eleanor. Spider. God. Okay, so Ferocity 2, so both of them get a duplicate. And we'll begin combat. And rightly so, the spider gets the jump on him, and it is going to... Did I actually say what its main attack is? Oh, that's right, we roll for it. Attack random. Mandibles! So this spider has, as he's walked into the mausoleum, the spider has come around on the roof and dropped silently behind him. And he spins just as this thing is coming in, swinging with its mandibles. And he is going to try and block this. It's like serrated mandibles swish through the air like scimitars. Now can he parry this? Or can he only evade it? I guess he can try and block it with a shield. Parry? Actually, I don't know if he can parry, he might just be able to evade. Yeah, let's just say he can only evade it. I wish he could parry it. Fingers crossed. Oh no! 2d6. The mandible, he turns around just in time to see these things come slicing down at him. Oh crap. For 11 damage, less 8. So for 3 damage. So he turns around just in time that these things crunch into him. Did he take 1 damage before? I feel like he took 1 damage. and it pierces straight through his armor. So of course he skips his turn because he tried to evade, but now it's the creature's turn again. This is going to be mesmerizing eyes. And as it's still got its mandibles in him, the monstrous arachnid stares at the player through a terrifying magnitude of eyes. It make a will roll to resist fear, so... Oh god. You might need to run soon. Oh no! Maybe it's the pain focuses him. You know, he's in the heat of battle, and this is where he's at his best. So he's going to swing his broadsword at point blank, try and get himself free from this creature. Slash at it. It's got no dodge because it's missed its turn. Oh, and a dragon! So what happens with a dragon is, you can see here, you can either double the weapon damage, or you get a free attack against another enemy. Obviously, there's no other enemy, so he's going to get to do double damage on this. And like I said, the spider can't dodge because it's taken 2 attacks and only had 2 moves, so let's hope for big numbers. 18 damage. Yeah, that's absolutely a great start. Oh, he might make it through. And with that, he slices through a mandible and frees himself, and the creature rears back. And he's going to follow it up with another broadsword attack. Slashing away. He hits, and the creature is going to try and evade. Sees the sword slicing through the air, and lifts its giant legs. But he is going to continue this swing. He's going to push the advantage and charge in. 16 is... oh, it is a hit. And the creature's not going to evade this one. Oh, is it? We'll say odds it is going to try and evade. Okay, so it will try and evade. And it does. So he's just charging through at this creature, screaming at the top of his lungs in desperation after being stabbed through the sides with these mandibles. But the creature just skitters backwards, dancing away. So he's done 2 attacks. The creature did, the giant spider did 2 dodges, so that's the end of that round. Giant spider goes first this time, so it's going to attack with a poison sting. The 8-legged horror raises its rear end and attacks a player, well, attacks Calaran, with a poisonous stinger, which shoots out of its repulsive body. He didn't even know that was there. The attack does D10 piercing damage, and if he sustains at least 1 point of damage, is also injected with a paralyzing poison, potency 16. This attack can be parried. Great! You know what? He's gonna wear this. He's gonna trust in his armor and hope that it rolls less than an 8. Of course it rolls a 10, so he takes 2 points of damage, and he has a potency 16 poison. Which I believe he has to roll Constitution. You know what? This is a learn with me, so let's learn. Search poison. Nope. Rules. Poison. How about now? Nope. Damage in combat. Damage. Other hazards. Poison. A weak poison has potency 9, moderate poison has potency 10, strong poison is 15 or more, so this is a really strong one. GM makes an open opposed rule between the potency and the constitution. If the poison wins, you suffer its effect. If you win, you only suffer the limited effect. Okay, so if we both... if I fail... your action fails regardless of your opponent. So if I succeed and the opponent fails... I succeed, and if we both succeed, then the result is lower. Okay, whoever gets the lowest roll. Ooh, okay. So, let's roll 16 for the... not a d10. That'd give it an unfair advantage. Roll 1d20 for the spider. 1d20 roll. 16 or less. Okay, so it succeeds. Okay. Go, little Calaran. Calaran succeeds. Excellent. So, he feels this poison course through him, but thankfully, maybe something he ate once upon a time. He manages to sustain himself and isn't instantly paralyzed. But the spider goes again, and it is going to keep attacking because it's into it. Oh, great! So usually it's expecting things to be paralyzed, but because it's not, it's going to follow up with a web attack while its bottom is still pointed at him. So the spider fixes its numerous eyes on Keller, and in the next moment it spits sticky spider webs at him. He must make an evade roll, not an action though, thankfully, so he still gets 2 actions after this. If he fails, he's caught in the web and unable to move, and it will take a successful strength roll with a Bane to break free, otherwise other people can help, but there's not going to be anyone else. So it's going to try and evade. A demon! That's unfortunate. You can't push it when you've got a demon either. So he's absolutely failed this evade roll. So he's caught in the webs and unable to move. I think it's fair to say though that he can still keep swinging, but I'm going to give him a Bane because it's just going to be easier for the spider to dance out of the way. So it's almost luck to see whether it's... Yeah, let's see if the spider is just stupid enough to stand close. Yeah, apparently it is. So, as it spits its web, and it expects this moment where he's going to be vulnerable, and because of that it stands too close, sustains 10 damage. 1, 2... But I think for this next one, what he's going to do is he's actually going to roll his strength to free himself. Roll that with a Bane. See, I got a 1, that would have been really great. I think what's happening though is he's getting a little bit... He's getting angry. Oh wait, no, I can spend the 3 points so he doesn't even need to take a condition. Let's push the roll. Yep. So he feels a surge of adrenaline, and he pushes through and decides, no, I'm gonna get out of this. I'm not gonna be the enemy. This spider, which is already limping quite a lot. He's managed to get a couple of really good hits, especially that first one when it was so close after stabbing with its mandibles. All right, next round. Giant spider comes in with the attack. If it gets the first move, it's always going to attack. The mesmerizing eyes again. Okay, so he needs to make a willpower roll to resist fear. Meets beats. So that, I mean, again, he's still got his blood up from that moment before when he broke through the webs. And so as much as the spider is trying to mesmerize him with its eyes, you know, he's seeing red. So he's going to come swinging with his broadsword. He needs to get some damage in on this thing. Haha, that's not going to do it. Although, you know what, let's give him the old 1, 2, 3, and let's roll that again. I'll just do this so that it lets me do that. 15, so we do hit this time. Odds the creature will defend itself. Evens it won't. Okay, so maybe it was too distracted when it was trying to do its eyes thing, and he's managing to get out of a lot of the things it's throwing at him. No, 8 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it's staring at him. And in that moment, as it thinks it's got a connection and he's got his blood up, and then the broadsword just comes up in a reverse grip, straight through the face of this creature. Ending the spider, which I honestly thought he was going to lose that one. And I think what we'll do is... person, select. Can I select person? Question mark. Just delete that one this time. I think he's going to roll to have a look around for some treasure and see what he can find inside this not mausoleum, ancient tomb. There's got to be some kind of treasure here. Treasure. Treasure? A rusty nail. Oh god, okay. Roll evade, otherwise he's gonna hurt himself. Yep, so he's searching around and pushing through things, and unfortunately he dislodges something, and some of the timber inside of this tomb starts to fall, and then there is a nail sticking out of it, but he manages to dodge out of the way at the last moment. That is unfortunate. But then he pushes on past this mausoleum. Not mausoleum, ancient tomb. Okay, I guess, yeah, it must be close to this, a chapel with the altar inside of it. Like an underground church of sorts. We have to come back to that. And also that statue. So he pushes on through, and he remembers again the words of Ingolfer, saying that the cultists take refuge here in this fiendish altar with their prisoner. My sight cannot glean their aims, but the blood-stained altar at the centre of the chamber has seen countless deaths at the hand of those seeking parley with demonic forces. But I sense fear, hesitation in these cultists. They will not die needlessly for their cause, I suspect. Free Gorham from their clutches. So let's see how many cultists there are, actually. We'll say there's at least 2. Okay, so that 1 plus 2. The rest of them are perhaps out getting some other resources that they need. And at the moment, all that's left is the 2 who are guarding the this orc who's battered and chained, ready for sacrifice or interrogation or some other thing. Whatever it is, let's try and save him from it. So I wonder whether actors directory, surely there's cultist in here. No? Buttons. Typical NPCs? Cultists. Great. We said there was 2 that's bandit. 2 cultists. Now I'm gonna roll their awareness to see whether they notice him or not. Because they were kind of dealing with this prisoner that they had. Cool, so they don't immediately notice him. What he's going to do is he is actually going to try and sneak forward a bit. Oh, first of all, actually, he is going to take a moment to take a breath and get D6 willpower back. I believe that's what it is on a kind of short rest type thing. Quick rest. Last a single round. Okay. Direct rest. He's not going to do it for that long. Oh, sweet. So that automatically recovered his 4 willpower. I love this VTT. Thank you again, Free League. So he's going to sneak up on these cultists. You know what, if we go like this, and then like this, then the cultists are in the same order as they are here. We'll do a sneak. He's going to try and sneak up and stab one of them before they know what's happening. But if they don't, we're just going to roll into combat. So let's try sneak. Of course, in his heavy plate. No, and to no one's surprise at all, he just clonks his way, gets a few steps forward, and then, the rattling becomes unavoidable. And so we're going to get into another combat, which will be the last one for this game, no doubt. Remembering that Caloran has another attack. Right. So the first cultist wheels around, but Caloran is already running at him and is going to swing with his broadsword, and we're going to say that he's, for convenience, swing at this one on the left. That's the closer one. So he's going to slash at him. 5. This cultist is going to try and parry. Oh no, he's just going to try and evade. He's just going to try and get out of the way of this swing. Yep, so Caloran comes running and swipes the broadsword, but thankfully the guy has enough presence to throw himself to one side. Which cultist is this? Can I unselect everyone and then it tells me which one this is? Okay, so the closest one. Okay, he's going to follow up drawing a knife. I forget, ignored dagger. I forget whether it's meant to be a move or not, but we'll just say it's... Let's just say he manages to get it out. It's a free move or something. Swings his dagger, and Caloran is going to, just let him stab at him. Because he's got 2 people and he needs to end them. Oh god, 8. Well, thankfully he's got 8 armor, so... Ping! Off the armor. Actually... Yeah, oh, okay, it's D4 plus D8. So there is a chance they could actually hurt him if they get really lucky. But he's, he's seen these 2 daggers and he's, not too concerned. He is wearing full plate. So he's going to swing at that same one. No, he's not. I take it back. Now that he's engaged in combat, he's going to wheel around and do a big slice at the other chap. Big backhand swing. See if he can end him before he gets into combat effectively. Oh, and of course that last guy wouldn't have had his attack, so... We'll play it backwards and say that the first guy didn't do the attack, it was the second one that is about to do the attack. But he missed, but he took 9 damage. So that's how that works. Cool. Next turn. So this is the cultist that just got stabbed, the one who was a bit further away, but now Caloran is engaged with both. He too is going to draw his dagger and stab at him. Ooh, and he is going to double his damage, at which point Caloran is going to try and parry. Because he's seen this guy, this dagger is coming in at an angle, and he has seen... this person seems to know what he's doing, knows how to use a knife. He's going to try and parry this. Yeah, absolutely. He twists and angles his shield in such a way that it catches the blade and the blade slides off. Which is lucky because that guy was about to really... Oh no, wait, no, you might only be able to parry a dragon with a dragon. So we're going to say that that actually gets through, and that was actually really... You know what? I'm going to retcon it. I forgot that he can only parry a dragon with a dragon, so it's not really worth trying. So anyway, let's see what damage this knife does. Oh god, okay. More damage. -13 minus 8 is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. So this, straight back into the hole which was made by the mandibles of the spider. And Caloran just like reels in pain, and he is going to try and stab at the first cultist. So he's just kind of slashing back and forth at these two. So he's going back to the one who was closest. He's in quite a bit of pain though. That's going to hit. This cultist is going to... No, this cultist is not going to evade because he thinks that they've got this now. He's seeing this guy's bleeding heavily, just saw his mate get in there, he wants to land the killing blow. So we're going to let Caloran roll his damage first. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, let's just see if Caloran can do a little tricky shot and come back through with his broadsword. So the first slash, but then it kind of reverses direction and comes up into a kind of a diagonal slash back up across his body. 17. He is going to spend 3 willpower and re-roll that. I'm just going to put his angry, because he is angry anyway. 15 hits. And this is going to catch the cultist unaware, so we're going to roll... Yeah, he was still coming in for his attack. Yep, 10. So that ends the first cultist. This guy's now dead. Next round of combat. Caloran versus the remaining cultists. And Caloran, knowing that he has to end this, both of them look near death. In fact, they've both got 3 hit points. That's cool. Swinging in. Now this cultist is going to try and block, actually, because I remember that they said not necessarily willing to die for their cause, so he's going to try and evade this. Yeah, and he does, absolutely. And he's like, no, no, please! And throws down his knife. He wants out of the fight. He's like, no, I surrender. But you know what? Caloran is going to... Yeah, Caloran... I was wondering whether Caloran's actually going to stab him, but no, he is a noble-born. He's going to accept, so he's just going to point his broadsword and tell them to leave, and... Oh, no, actually, he accepts the surrender and kicks the knife away, but then just whacks him in the face with his shield to knock him out cold. And he's going to, 1, end the combat, but 2, take this opportunity to grab the orc, Gorham. Gorham? Dragonbane solo? Grab Gorham, and he is going to start booking it back out of there. And, let's give a D20. What do we say? On a 20? No, on a 20. So on a demon, the cultist manages to catch up, to wake up in time, and to organize a party to come after him. Excellent. So, Caloran, pulling along this beaten orc Gorham, manages to escape back up the tunnels, past the ancient tomb, through the twisting tunnels, the charred, back through that sarcophagus, and up the path, and makes it back to the chapel, where Ngulfur waits. And I think that is probably a good place to end this first game. Again, I love Dragonbane. I need to play it more often, so that I learn the rules and those are just because, damn, it's fun. Thank you again to Free League for sending me a copy of this. Honestly, it's fantastic. Unfortunately, it means that now I am far less interested in playing Dungeons & Dragons, which was kind of my game of choice before this, because it just seems way clunkier. I just don't enjoy it as much. But anyway, first stream. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching if you're watching it later. Wish you all the best. Don't forget to take a break and look after yourself. Alright, see ya.